Hey y'all, today's Rider Spotlight. I'm actually with my own cycling team, Sugar Beets Cycling. So you've seen me asking a lot of the questions. Today we're going to take some turns asking the questions. But I'm going to start first with some introductions and a little explanation of who Sugar Beets Cycling actually are. So my name is Sam Welter. I co-founded Sugar Beets Cycling back in 2017 with Celeste Cannon. She's another one of the OG members of the team. So Celeste, just kind of tell everyone quick, like, what we're all about.
We're all about trying to get women on bikes and getting women out racing. And we really enjoy mountain biking and road biking and everything. And so we're just trying to get more people into the sport.
So joining us at the very next season was Miss Anna Kelso. And Anna, why is it important to you for women to get together in our own cycling team?
I think that there's a lot of bonding and self-confidence that comes from finding yourself in competitive sport. And there's a lot of carryover. The lessons that you learn on the bike and then racing carry over into life, and the strength that you find on the bike and with the strong women that you're racing with, all of those lessons carry over into life. And also it's fun, and it's an important outlet for your heart and your soul and your body and your mind and your spirit, and not enough women have these opportunities in my book.
And then Maria Esswein, she joined the team about 2 years ago. Do you have anything to add to what Anna just said?
She summed it up very well, but I definitely think there's an empowering element to it. Just that having that physical outlet and ability, and watching your growth internally and externally on the bike, where maybe you get over a route or a rock or ride down something that you were too scared to before, but after time you've maybe built up more courage with the help of your teammates or friends, or just practicing. And I don't know, I think there's something very powerful to be surrounded by strong women as well. It's I think it really inspires all of us in different ways. So
Absolutely. So the four of us, we all rode the Apex last year, but since I'm the one that's always asking the questions, each of us wrote a few questions down in a hat, so we're just going to pass the hat around and start asking each other questions. So I guess we'll start. So Celeste, this first one will be for you,
Okay.
unless you wrote it. What was your favorite moment of the Apex?
Wow, there were so many of them. I'm tempted to say when I was done, but actually I think coming down Happy Jack for the second time. Captain Jack, sorry, thank you. Captain Jack for the second time, and just really getting into it and just shredding and racing and knowing there wasn't anybody else on that trail was just those moments of wee! So yeah, I'd say that was my favorite moment.
Awesome.
it's a good one.
You've earned the right to ask Maria the next question.
Excellent. All right. Okay. So Maria, what do your friends and family think about your mountain biking addiction?
I think they worry about me at times, but they ultimately know it's a very positive, healthy outlet for me. And I've actually had the good fortune of my parents, especially my dad, being very supportive of that throughout the years. And they just kind of learned that, it's a part of me that I really try to, it's one of my healthy outlets. And when I'm with them, sometimes I need to go for a ride, and they understand. So, yeah.
Nice.
Overall
All right,
supportive.
Next.
All right. Anna, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. All right.
Did I get my own question?
No, I got, no, it's mine. What was your favorite snack or race fuel for the Apex?
Oh my god, I remember like getting to the starting line one of the mornings and being like, I need a donut. And I rode back to the hotel and I was like pedaling and I ate a dang donut. And it was exactly what it was your donut.
Yes! Sometimes you just need a donut.
Go.
I got a donut.
That was the start of stage 2 because the Buffalo Lodge was so close.
Right, exactly. And I was like, I'm getting a donut. Maria's donut.
Yep. That's exactly why I got them. Sometimes your soul or spirit, or yeah, you just need a donut.
You just need a soul donut.
You need a soul donut. Yes.
Yep.
I actually get to answer a question.
Yay!
Yay.
Okay. How did you keep moving from one day to the next during Apex?
Ooh. Well, I definitely made sure to eat all of the food. All of it. And I remember spending time in the backyard of where we were staying, foam rolling, and getting a really good night's sleep. So those were my big recovery tactics. Eating food, foam rolling, and sleeping a lot.
All the sleep.
All the sleep.
Absolutely.
I'm
food,
also
all the
remembering
sleep.
our
Yes.
night of leg compression.
Oh, yes.
That was so nice.
Totally forgot the compression boots.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the total relaxation in between the stages and just giving yourself a break is really important.
Absolutely. All right, Celeste, what's your favorite mid-ride snack?
Ooh. You know, it depends on how long it is. If it's something short, gummies. But for the Apex, Rice Krispie treats. Yep, it's pretty close to sort of whole food, I guess. But
It is.
yeah, for some
And
for,
with sugar. To
with
keep
lots
you
of sugar,
going.
and it tastes amazing. And yeah, that was actually my go-to for 2.5 hours into a climb. Rice Krispie treat.
Yeah. You
Yep.
gotta have that to
Yep.
get you through.
Yeah. All right, Maria,
Oh,
you ready?
yeah.
for
My
your next
turn.
one?
Yes.
All right.
You're up.
Yeah, it's fine.
Alrighty, Maria.
Mhm.
What was your favorite course of the 2020 Apex and why?
Ooh. Actually, I was reflecting on this earlier, and it is kind of hard because Captain Jack was amazing. That was probably one of the coolest trails. But I would say my favorite was day 2, even though we had the horrendous climb at first. But that was very Apex-esque. And it was my favorite because it reminded me of a trail back in Missouri that circled a lake, and in the aspens changing at this time of the year was gorgeous. It was like riding through a golden kaleidoscope, and I was elated at that point. Like, not only did we get over that climb, but we're in the aspens, and yeah, that was a fun course
Wow.
despite the climb.
That's really cool to hear you say that, because I think a lot of us were kind of struggling with the constant up down, up down, up down. But you're absolutely right. Just seeing those aspens changing and the colors and nice fall day, it was beautiful.
It was like,
Yes, this is the Apex. Yeah. Oh yes. All right, Anna, it's your turn again. So what self-care do you recommend to get through the Apex?
this is my question.
Oh, do you want another one? Or do you have an answer?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think just like really being very serious about taking it easy at the end of the race, like going back to wherever you're staying, not walking around and chatting, but like really making recovery a priority at the end of every race, and recharging and resting and reconnecting with your teammates or whoever you're staying with, and eating properly, and compression boots. So, yep. All right. 3 more. Okay. If you could only carry 3 things in your jersey for a race stage, what would they be?
I wrote this question, so
Nice handwriting.
Oh, thank you. So I was thinking as I was writing the question, what would I carry? Because you gotta be able to fix your bike, and you gotta have food. So I think that if I could only carry 3 things during an Apex stage, it would be bacon strips for my tubeless tire.
Oh, I thought you meant actual bacon.
It's like, absolutely you would.
And
Bacon,
then,
Rice Krispie treats. And
well, Pop-Tarts, actually.
Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tarts
Yes.
have been my go-to recently.
Which flavor?
Cinnamon.
Ooh, you can't go wrong. Classic.
I saw strawberry at first. Yeah.
And then a multi-tool. So I'm not going to starve. Because each Pop-Tart is 200 calories, each one. So that's 400 calories in a package. Multi-tool and, tubeless tire plug. Or real bacon.
You know what? Like, do you have a Big Air on your seat post?
What?
Big Air? Like a CO2, like it's like a massive CO2. That used to be a thing.
No, but see that how I got sneaky away with that is I have the race roll underneath my seat.
Okay, so this is the other
How's
thing.
those things?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Possum doping.
Celeste. Ooh. So this is maybe the 3rd time this question's come up. But we haven't asked Celeste this one yet. So it's pretty important for everyone out there to be able to get through 4 days of the big event. So Celeste, what is your recovery routine post-race?
Yeah, I'll make it short and just say what they said. Yeah, take the time out, relax, recover, eat everything, and I think that's part of what's so cool about the Apex is you've got 4 days and you can just focus on you. Like everything else, work, family, no, that's not important right now. The race is important, and it's actually kind of a nice relief to do that sometimes.
Really is.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Escape from real life for a few days.
Yes.
Like, if I can chime in real quick, I think it's helpful to kind of dream up all the options of food that you might be interested in, because you have no idea. It's like pregnancy. You have no idea what your body's gonna want. So just you might want a donut. You might want a bacon strip. Have them all.
Oh yeah.
Because you deserve it.
Yes.
All right. So Maria, what music do you listen to get yourself pumped up?
Oh.
Well, sometimes I have the mantra of fast is smooth, smooth is fast. Just keep pedaling, like Dory from Finding Nemo. Just keep pedaling.
I got that one too.
Yeah. Or actually, Save Your Tears, or by The Weeknd. That one has been stuck in my head a lot lately. Has anyone heard that? No? Okay. Oh, and Anna.
Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang. Oh, do any of you ladies want
Run the
to chime in?
Jewels. Beastie Boys.
Oh, ooh, that's a yes.
Yeah. Can we go around real quick?
I
What's yours?
actually get a lot of country music stuck in my head. And at the GoPro games last weekend, it was John Party's Heartache on the dance floor.
Oh,
Oh, I'm so
You know what?
ready to
Whatever
get it
gets
done.
you there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whatever gets you there.
Yeah, I like the Who, Baba O'Reilly.
Oh.
Yeah, that one's towards the end. Go, 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 go.
Yeah. Are you you answered the Wu-Tang is yours?
Wu-Tang, Run the Jewels, Beastie Boys.
Okay.
Yep.
Boom.
That's
Love
our
it.
list.
Maybe
Yes.
Missy Elliott.
Ooh, yes. Very empowering. So Anna, how do you stay training motivated?
Oh, this is my question. Because it speaks to where I am right now.
Yeah.
And I think on one hand there's a time to be focused and organized, but on the other hand, life gets complicated and you have to figure out how to make training fun and interesting. And so sometimes there's a time to be very focused and organized and disciplined, and when that isn't working, it's okay to jump tracks and find other ways to make it fun and interesting. Usually with Wu-Tang.
Oh, I agree. I have 100% switched to my single speed right now because I needed something different and something fun that was a little bit less stress. So, single speed style.
And I think like whatever it is you're doing should like tap into that like piece of you that makes you feel like complete and whole and strong and like fulfilled. And so if that's, you know, hill repeats, then that's hill repeats. But if it's not, like sometimes that's okay. Like just find whatever keeps you moving.
And I think that speaks a lot to this event as a whole, because the theme is like it's an endurance 4-day endurance event in a way. And so if it is whatever keeps you mentally engaged, or like whatever gets you out there on your bike, I think that is important to practice even in training. So I love that answer.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
All right, last one.
Saving the best for last?
I feel like we're playing a drinking game. We drink at the same time.
Never have I ever. Do you carry your cell phone with you when you race, and why?
I do not carry my cell phone when I race. I don't, because it's extra weight, and especially at something like the Apex, there's so many volunteers and medics on course that if anything were to happen, another participant is going to come by, or volunteer or medic, someone's going to see me pretty quickly. Even if you're the last person, there's a sweeper behind you, so you're actually not the last person. So you're never alone. Oh, and one of the cool things I learned from talking to Centura Health, their sports medicine department is they were the ones out there providing medic. They had drones flying around, so they could see where we were at all the time. So no, I normally do not carry my phone when I race. Anyone else?
I usually don't, unless I'm doing a relay race and we're trying to like track where each other is. So that's the only time I will.
I do, typically. Sometimes I don't, but for the longer ones I do. And I'm really glad I did for this, because I definitely took some pictures on day 2. Well, and it was like trying to ride at the same time. So
You're good at that. You're really good at that.
Yes, that is a skill I am proud of.
Awesome.
Own it. I usually carry my phone all the time in case like something happens to my kids. But at races, I just like let go and let God. And I have a computer, so I can always like, you know what I did. But yeah. It's actually one of the few times that I'm actually unplugged completely.
Right? Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
It's such a relief. Just like,
Me time. I love it.
total me time.
That's why I race, just to be unplugged.
Right.
You gotta
Get a
drop a dead weight.
vacation, get away from everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
So at the Apex, who was on a hardtail? Just us?
Just us.
So you guys would your full sus?
Yes.
Would you, on the full sus, would you change it? Would you ride a hardtail this next time if you had the option?
I mean, I think you could get away with it, but I would prefer my full suspension.
I'm gonna keep the hardtail for sure. Would you keep the hardtail? Or would
I
you
probably.
go full sus?
I'm probably gonna keep the hardtail, although I did develop a little bit of ankle Achilles pain from all the shock absorption from that hardtail. But there's so much climbing to do that I feel like there's enough of a weight advantage on my hardtail that I will keep it.
I love my top fuel enough, and being able to lock it out, I feel like it's the best of all worlds.
That's what I have, and I agree.
Yeah.
So I have 2.3 or 2.35 tires on my bike, just because northern Colorado up here in Fort Collins, it's pretty chunky, it's pretty gnarly up here, and I just always run the same tires regardless of where I go. What were your tires?
Yeah, 2.3, because that's about the max of what my bike will allow.
Sure.
2.25.
2.25.
I think I'm the same. 2.2 or 2.25.
Yeah. So would you go bigger?
Good question. I
heard a lot of the pro women were running like 2.4s.
Sure,
So
I can see.
I was just curious if anyone would go bigger or if you would just stay.
Maybe on the kitty I mean, I probably won't, just because of I am the same. I just kind of run what I run. But I can see how that could absorb more with the the loose kitty litter.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I'd never really thought about it, and then when I heard those interviews about people wearing bigger tires, I was like, whoa, maybe there's something to that. So I don't have any plans to change, but if I need a new tire, I make sure something
There
else
are
out.
a lot of like fast berms
Mhm.
on Captain
Yeah.
Jack or Captain
Yeah,
Jack.
and the wider the tire, the more you can hook up like Velcro to some of those.
But they're so nice and
berms.
bermy that you don't really even need to worry about that.
Also true.
Yeah.
Also true.
So.
Cool. So for this upcoming 2021 Apex, I think there's still a lot of people out there like kind of sitting the fence because maybe they don't know if they could cover the distance. They don't know about the 4 days back to back to back. I'm gonna ask each of you then, and I'll start so you have a chance to think about it maybe. What's your advice for someone who maybe hasn't signed up yet? Or what's your advice for a female who really wants to race and she's signed up, but she's kind of terrified about approaching the event? So think about that, and I'll start by just saying that I've been recovering from long haul COVID for about 8 months now, and I am struggling this year, which is why, as I mentioned earlier, I'm riding my single speed because that's what makes me happy. And you know what, if September rolls around and I'm still not feeling well, I might still ride my single speed, which sounds ridiculous because I'm struggling with exercise intolerance and just finding my lungs again. But my single speed makes me happy, and my race bike just doesn't right now. And so you're stronger than you think is what I'm getting at here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can do this. Eat the food, sleep, just go out and ride your bike each day and have a blast, because that's all the Apex is about, is just going out and having fun. So who wants to go next?
I can go next. I would say, if you haven't signed up yet, go ahead and sign up, because if you wait till the last minute, you won't get motivated enough to actually do all the training and the prep work it takes. And it doesn't take that much prep work, really. I think last year I went down and I pre-rode all the courses once and was really surprised by how relatively easy it was. Like, the pre-riding was probably the hardest part, but once we were racing and I knew what was coming up, it was actually a lot easier than I thought it would be. And really, if you can ride any of those stages, then you get your recovery overnight and then you're good to go the next day. I mean, don't go like 100%. If you're going like 90%, you will totally get through all the stages. So, pre-ride, practice some long days, and you should be good, and sign up to get yourself motivated. You won't really commit to it until you've actually signed
Trap
up.
yourself
so.
now.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
I would say that I think that is a good idea to get signed up sooner rather than later, for the extra motivation. And I don't know how helpful this is for others, but I say going in with the idea, like, you can make it what you want it to be. If you want it to be like a challenge and not like focus on it as more of a challenge rather than a race, you can do that. And you don't have, like, you are there to, push yourself, whatever that looks like, in whatever way. And it's well supported and run, and so if this is new to you, I think it's a great way to get your feet wet. And I think going into it with, your own focus or goals, mini goals even, like, and just taking each part of the stage like in chunks, even if it's a mile at a time. Like there's a day, like day 3 was just one step at a time, but then you get you get the payoff, and I think it's a great environment to get your feet wet if that's something that you're hesitant about. So
Yeah.
And so, Sam, I want to understand, like, what fears are you really trying to, like, hone in on? Like, fears of how to accomplish the whole thing?
Well, being there and having done it, I try to put myself where I was 10 years ago when I had never done a mountain bike event. And I wanted to do this thing and no one else wanted to do it with me. And, you know, having a friend there to kind of like, you know, help guide you along, everything is more fun with a buddy.
Yeah.
Right? And so put yourself back into a beginner mindset. What types of fears did you have first starting off mountain bike racing?
So like the fear of the enormity of it?
Any of it.
Yeah.
Any of it. I mean, I'd be scared of the enormity of it, the back-to-back days, the big climbs. I'm scared of those big climbs. Those big climbs, they're big and they're long, and I think that maybe a lot of people shy away from that.
Okay. So I think two things. One is, Maria, what you were saying is like, you just, everything is like one step at a time and you can't look at the whole thing. You have to just take it bit by bit by bit. And I think the other thing is, rather than focusing on the fears, focusing on just throwing elbows in life. Like, just, who cares? You know what? Like, just go for it. Live life in full color. If you number 2 the bed, you do. Like, just do it.
Yes.
Like, who cares? Like, just go for it. Just throw it at the wall and see what sticks and live it up.
That's true.
And it's okay either way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Awesome. Ladies, this has been wonderful. I'm going to hug Anna. I can't really reach the other two right
That's
now.
okay.
But we will see all of you at the Apex, and if you want to get in touch with the team, we'll shoot you some contact information in the show notes. And yeah, any questions that you might have about the Apex or about women's cycling issues, definitely let us know, and we would be happy to be there for you. So thank you, ladies. This has been awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.